we'll have a quick little glance at these parallelisms that occur in the Bible. And these parallelisms, here's our first example of the synonymous parallelism. And it's described as the second line repeating the first in different words having the same meaning, hence synonymous. So here in Psalms 19, 1 and 2, you have the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament, synonymous with the next line, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So glory of God there represents his handiwork, to declare, showing, or showeth. And of course, we're familiar with this, the heavens being synonymous in this passage with the firmament. And the next line is much the same. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. And these two lines are synonymous as well, even though day is contrasted with night. Day unto day is the same period as night unto night, as talking about all the time, day and night, day unto day and night unto night, utters and showeth speech and knowledge. So this is a nice easy one. Lines that are synonymous, as in having the same meaning when they parallel each other. Now here's another little nuance, which is the synthetic parallelism, where I guess it's adding more information. So the second line or following lines adds to the first. Here we have, who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? Which is interesting because even there you've got synonyms with the hill of the Lord and the holy place. He that hath clean hands and a pure heart. So another synonym with clean hands and a pure heart. But here's what we're looking at, who have not lifted up his soul unto vanity. And now is the synthesis, saying some added information which further gives a fuller meaning, a fuller shared meaning to the first, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. So now we know to lift up your soul unto vanity has a fuller meaning in not swearing deceitfully. So vanity and deceit are quite closely connected in their meaning in this verse, as you can see. And a third parallelism, antithetic parallelism. And many of us will be familiar with this, although it sounds rather technical, but we use it quite often if we're familiar with the Hegelian dialectic, where we talk about thesis versus antithesis, and it's basically one concept or idea in contrast to an opposing idea, and then the two of them joined together as that synthesis. So here we have the same sort of concepts with language when it talks about the parallelisms, because here antithetic, it simply means in contrast. So the second line contrasts with the first, where here in this example, Psalm 73, verse 26, my flesh and my heart faileth. The power and strength that comes from myself, it fails. But in contrast, God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. So this contrast of these lines, these opposition in meaning, this is what we call the antithetic. Three more ones that I'll go through quickly, and this one is called the climactic parallelism, where basically you have these lines, synonymous sort of lines, successive lines that build to a climax or summary. So here you've got the fig tree that shall not blossom, and then a similar concept, neither shall the fruit be in the vines, the labor of the olive shall fail. Each line after line is saying very similar things, and it's building and building and building until we come to the climax or summary. Here we were, it was although this, although that, although, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. And then, of course, there's the eclectic parallelism, and it's basically a combination of different types. So many times this happens. You go through many different verses in the Bible, and the authors, Hebrew writers, they were quite genius in their language, how they could interweave these types of writing together to bring about their meaning and their words, and God to have inspired them in the way He has, that the Bible begins to do that with itself. When you compare verses from all throughout Scripture, it's quite an amazing thing. But here is a quick little example of just an eclectic parallelism, where in Habakkuk 1:2, you got some lines. The first two lines, they're synthetic. One is adding to the next. O Lord, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? And that added information, the one who's crying unto the Lord, but the Lord will not hear, that is paralleled synonymously with the next line, which has the same lines of synthesis. Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. And a second example of an eclectic parallelism, taking those different types interwoven together, just using the example of Micah 7:8 again, where we have, when I fall, it's antithetic to rising, but it's synthetic in meaning as well, because when I fall, I shall rise. So it's giving that added information. And that when I fall, I shall rise is synonymous with when I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. Oh, and one last one, and this is called the emphatic parallelism, where synonymous words are used for emphasis. That quick little example in Deuteronomy 6:5, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might, hitting it home with emphasis. So let us apply some of these concepts of parallelisms to journey through Proverbs 24.